where have I been? I went and got every single ending in order. What order, you might ask? The proper order. I don't think there needs to be an order, but if there is an order, I did it. This is a weird way to phrase it, but I believe still that there is a 7th secret ending because all From Software games have it, and I don't think it's just Ronnie's ending where you talk to the doll. So, I went on that one character that had 56 hours because I was like, when the fuck did I make this character and what did I do on them? I just did Celavis's quest to get the talisman. And then I logged out. I didn't beat the game. I didn't do anything. I made an extra character to go get the one talisman that I didn't get. Why does that matter? Because that's like the second character I made forever ago after I beat the game, because it was only when I was told like I can't go back to do Celavis's quest after burning the Erd tree. I had to make a new character that I made that guy. So that guy is like my second character without beating the game on Journey 1. And from the last video, I should say, I thought I was wrong before I committed a lot of time to beating the game a bunch of fucking times. I was like, I'm going to go and read a book, because I joked about no one reads a book. I was like, I'm gonna go see what it's based off of, read every different interpretation. Google really doesn't want you to know about alchemy. That or people have no fucking clue, because everywhere I looked, there's no... So this is gonna summarize the whole playthrough right now. No, everywhere I looked, I'm a little distracted, but it's okay. I couldn't find a goddamn answer. They were all different answers. It was like a bunch of different answers. So I had to read a couple of books. Different websites. Is a better way to put it. But I kinda had the right order before. There was just one thing that I had misplaced. I didn't know about this step, and I think that was what they were trying to talk about and teach. So, with this addition, it turns the 2-step process, or it turns the 5-step process into a 7-step process, which is just enough for every playthrough plus New Game Plus, right? On top of New Game Plus. You get all 6 endings, and then you have a 7th scaling, right? It doesn't add up. If there are only 6 endings, why does it go to New Game Plus, right? If you go to the wiki right now, here, let him kill me. It says there are only 6 endings. I discovered that there's a 7th ending. It was like this entire playthrough. This is how, like, this is how I'll summarize it. There is an invisible path that we kept bumping into, right? And I wasn't sure if I was actually bumping into something, right? I was like, oh my god, it looks like there's a path here, right? But then there was like one over here, one over here, one over here, right? It just kept going. I was like, God, there's a secret path. And look at the bloodstains, right? It's very accurate with the bloodstains. Like, people would go off that way. People didn't even go to this ending, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. So there's 7 endings. It's appropriate that the 7th one at the end is the pure white one. All right, so anyway, because that is, I mean, the whole thing is pretty obvious now that I know. So I was like, well, dropping to say hi. I have audio off. So we would go from 1 to 2 to 3, right, to 4 to 5, and then to wait. There was a 7th one. Did I miss? I guess the blood thing. Oh, these two are the same color. I was counting by color. These two came out as the exact same. It's a random one whenever you drop it. So anyway, it's actually funny because also when you're at the end here, the last one doesn't have a light, so it is still 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But then the last one is out of render distance, so it's still it's like 7. It's kind of that, right? This is what it looked like. There was a 6th. There's like a 6th ending path, but then there's a 7th stone at the end, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why does it go up to 7? Like and subscribe. Thank you, Orange Buster. Shout out. Like, why does it go up to 7? Right? I'm like, there's the first ending, there's the second easier to get ending that you would get if you go in blind. You don't know anything about Dark Souls. You would just assume the Golden Order is the best thing. You get the normal ending, right? Then you get the next ending after maybe discovering your truth at the end or getting frustrated at the boss, right? But the problem is no one goes into New Game Plus. A lot of people make new characters because larval tiers are limited. No one wants to rebirth their character and spend their larval tiers. They'd rather just make a new character. And get a new ending because the New Game Plus hard. Why? When you could just make a new character. And it's easy, right? The game is just as easy as it was the first time, except even easier because you have all of this knowledge from your first playthrough. Or your previous playthroughs, depending on how many characters you've had. So, why does it matter again? Because I was like, okay, there's only 6 of these stones in the game files. We'll go this way now. Say this is the start. This is the end right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, I was like, there can't be a 7th ending. There are only 6 stones, right? I was like, there are only 6 endings in the game files. As a programmer, I know you can hide it well, but like, it would be a pain in the ass to code it. And people would still, data miners would be able to track it. Like, making a secret 7th ending would be hard, right? And then I find out there is a 7th ending in the game files. At the end of my playthrough, where I was like, damn, it really feels like there's a 7th ending to this game, depending on how you beat it, right? Because it gives you a bunch of different options towards the end. It feels like a previous Dark Souls game. And then I was like, there's the only way that they can, you know, hide a 7th ending in the game is if it was in the files. And it had references to other things hidden away, right? The calls were just obscured through a layer of, you know, a cipher. You didn't know what it was trying to call, and it's calling the checks for your world state to make sure you did the ending correctly. That's how I would do it. As a game programmer. I have no fucking idea how they did it, if it's even there. As a programmer, I'm like, well, I know I could hide it, and I'm dumb. So whatever. But the fact that I felt that there was a 7th based on this no leveling playthrough, right? I was like, damn, it really forces you down a path if you suck. It makes you see this path. And then, again, with the symbolism, the character who is about, and then I should admit, early on I was like, man, it would be really good as a flex to just kill everything and get everything. So we got like every dungeon done, every great rune, and the tower, most of the tiers except for the DLC, and every mending rune, legitimately, without breaking the game, right? No glitches. Glitchless. We got the Perfect Order, and the Death Prince, and the Fell Curse, right? We did everything the right way, legitimately. You're probably asking, how the fuck did you do that? You need to be level 37 intelligence to get the perfect mending rune. Yeah, there's a bunch of buffs in the game here. Intelligence not gives you plus 10 intelligence, you're at 20. And then a bunch of gear to give you the rest, you're at like 38, actually. Just before the burning of the Erd Tree. And the items you pick up happen to be Radagon's Soreseal. So if you were trying to 100% the game as a level 1, you need to follow Radagon's path, and you need his vision. You need his eye. Right? That's what this is. It's his eye. This legendary talisman is an eye engraved with an Elden rune, said to be the seal of King Consort Radagon. So this is Radagon's eye. I want you to read the bottom paragraph. Solemn duty weighs upon the one beholden, not unlike a gnawing curse from which there is no deliverance. It feels like I'm going fucking crazy. And I'm like, there can't be a 7th ending hidden in the game. I would have to be the first one to discover it, and that's very unlikely. Right? I'm like, there are so many people that have played this before me. How the fuck would I find it? Right? Before these people deciphering the lore and playing through it before me. And data mining. And then I looked it up, and the data miners found a 7th ending and lied to everybody and said it's an April Fool's joke based on something I data mined up. Then he clarified in the comments, not in the video that everyone watched, that it is stuff in the game files. He just didn't know how to fucking unlock it. So everyone's just like, oh, it's unaccessible content. It's cut content because this data miner said so. From Software never said that there were only 6 endings. So I was like, okay, well, if you excuse the golden order, right, of in real life, the holy word of the data miners, we know that there's 7 endings in the game files and only 6 discovered. The whole game emphasizes finding the truth and perfect order. So this whole week, I went, and I got every ending in the perfect order, based on the alchemical marriage and imagery. And yes, I know. Yes, I know. Prima Materia, Massa Confusa, Negrito, Albedo, Rubido, Citrinatus. Yeah, Citrinatus. That's only 6, you might ask, right? That's only 6, you might say. You're like, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. You're saying there's 7 endings. I knew that it was gonna happen still. I didn't jump in time. So again, if there were only 6, what does it produce? You would say gold, right? Alchemy is trying to turn base materials like lead into gold, lead like the Noxtellan moon into gold like Radagon's soul, power, star, right? The rings of Radagon, the gold, the alloyed gold, right? Also, now I understand Miquella's unalloyed gold thing. Anyway, you would have to go through the process twice. So it's not enough to just know the words and know what endings they correspond to. You would have to then put it all together in one perfect, slow, turtle-paced dance. And I think, just based on the way I play, because people literally came in and said, you play the game weird. I think based on the way I play, the slow, field, sword and board, turtle pace of talking to the enemy, or talking to the NPCs, trying and failing. Oh my god, I forgot to mention one of the most important things that made me realize, there's like two. One, I found out who your maiden is. It's not Melina, and it's not Hyetta. It is Cyrilena. But it's because of the thing, like, if you go, it wasn't just me, again, it feels like there was, like, a bunch of people that contributed to this in the comments of the wiki. People realize that I had to go look up her name, I'll say that, but people realize that Vare wouldn't have killed your maiden because he asks you to kill them, right? He says if you're killing a maiden, or if you're joining the whole thing, you have to kill your maiden. So he wouldn't have killed your maiden. That's just not how he rolls, right? So he's actually taking pity on you. And Melina also knows that your maiden is gone. So just people who see you for what you are, a tarnished, can also see if you are maidenless, because you are literally just, you're walking around by yourself. You don't have a maiden with you. They're like, well, this tarnished is maidenless because he isn't with a maiden right now. So, I mean, he's by himself. Pretty obvious that he's maidenless, right? So, that's, I mean, everyone knows you're maidenless because you're just walking around by yourself. So it's not like a secret or a surprise that people shouldn't know or anything. It's like, well, he's just a dude. He's tarnished, but he's solo. So, I mean, he's maidenless. So it's not like, oh, Vari knows some deep secret about you because he sees that you're maidenless. It's like, no, he just sees that you're by yourself coming out of a grave, and he's like, well, that sucks for you, dude. Because Melina does the same thing right before Vari does. And for the same reason. You're by yourself. I forgot one of the most important items for the Elden Beast, so we're probably gonna have to die and go back to the Mountaintop of Giants for it, but if it's for the sake of teaching you lads and lasses and not so lesser folk how to fight this boss, then we shall. But the truth, it is like a gnawing curse. I'm like, oh no. It's like I bumped into an invisible wall and everyone's like, why don't you just walk around that wall like everybody else? And I'm like, ooh, because I think I know what I just bumped into. And now I'm dropping these little stones to test things out with my save files, right? I might have save stated a bunch. So I have every journey save stated with a new game, right? Or it's right before I choose the ending. I have every single new game plus right at the end, right before I choose the ending, as a save file. And now my other character is at new game plus 6 right at the end, going into 7, which should be Miyazaki's magnum opus, as well as mine in terms of playthrough. I'm excited. Oop, that's the wrong flask. Jesus. That like almost kills me. I guess I have a level 200 that keeps almost dying to that. He's got like 90. No, he's only got like 70 Vigor. I guess he's on new game plus 6, so that makes sense as to why. So if you couldn't tell, I went and fought this boss like 6 times because I was salty. I had to learn this motherfucker's attack patterns. But I did it. I did. Alright, so I found out how to fight this guy. The problem is there's one move that I don't have the ability to dodge really. So I have to just kind of soak it. And I don't have the thing that lets me soak it, so we're probably gonna die right now. If Torrent doesn't help us... escape. Try to evade out of the map. Let's take... that's your sign to get into the map. I believe in you. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how scary it is. It took me having to kill this thing like all week just to get over my fear of it. I was like, alright, fine. I'm gonna make another character. I'm gonna fucking do exactly as I should and train. Right? Even if I don't kill it, I need to show I can. Alright, so this is where you would drink your physic. The problem is that my physic doesn't do what a physic should, so I gotta run. If this is it, it's fine. If we die, we made it this far. There's one move I still don't know how to dodge. It's the wave attack. So if he hits me with that shit, I'm gonna die. But it's okay. I'm just being honest here. Even as a level fucking 200 with 70 life points, I have no clue how to dodge that shit and survive. No! I dodged like a microsecond too early. Oh, dude. That was so close. It actually was like the dodge barely. It was a perfect timing. It looked like it was good. The spacing also looked good. He missed me with the weapon, but he still got me. The story of my life. But you know what? Fuck, dude. We've shown that we can, but you don't give up. God damn it. Invisible health bar. I was talking about the invisible path. God damn. I made their fucking health bar invisible. And they still killed me. Talk about a magic trick. How the fuck did I do that? If you hug the weapon side, it's less likely that they do the like shotgun blast of light. I don't know what the fuck to call it. It looks like that, except it's a projectile. Oh yeah, take this with you. I thought it was a stab. Damn, he doesn't really do that one too often. Normally it's a stab. I'm bad. It's a combo that he can interchange. That's a rare move you saw just then. After a week of fighting him, I think I've only seen that a couple times. Okay. Yeah. Your resistance goes up on the side there. What the fuck? Guarded damage negation? That was a thing this whole time? I joked about it before, but it actually was. What? It works with this too? Also, that's why Occult is so good. I realize that in normal. I can't use... Not that I can't use bleed, it's just not as effective. Now I can guard the magic a bit better. We only got stronger. That's good. Hey, what's up? Oh my god, this is what's up. We just got this close to beating the boss. I don't know if you can see it. It's fucking life. I turned its health bar invisible is what I said. I'm also level 1, still no leveling, and all week I've been practicing on this guy. I beat the game 6 times. I have gotten every single ending, and I'm on New Game Plus 7 on my other character. Good lord, yeah. I am fucking in training mode right. Or training mode is over. The ending is near. And I found the true path to the end. I know in my heart now that there is a 7th ending to this game. Whether it be a spiritual ending, and that's why they put the 7th ending in the game files, or it's actually there at the end of this long, tedious path, I think it is. I think I found it, and that my other character that I've been playing all week to practice, I was like, I might as well try to get this 7th secret ending. And I think I actually got the path down, right? Because I mean, I beat the fucking game 6 times this week. So, if I don't know how to beat the game by now, I would question my sanity. So, like, what the fuck was it all for? But I'm gonna play that guy as soon as we're done with this. But it sucks, because people have been asking me what I want to do when I'm done with this game. And I had so many answers. I was like, I want to do this, that, the other thing, but it's like a gnawing curse, and I'm the one beholden to the truth. I can see the truth, and the whole world says there's only 6 endings, and I'm like, why? How is there 7th in the fucking game files then? Right? How are they famous for secret endings in New Game Plus, and there isn't one that anyone has found yet in Elden Ring? There's I found it. I found the path. It's like I bumped into an invisible path, and everyone's like, oh, don't walk right there, you're gonna fall. And I'm like, what are you talking about? There's an invisible path right here. And they're like, no, don't walk off that ledge right there, you're gonna fall to your death. And I dropped a stone, and it's floating in the air, and I'm like, guys, this is the fucking path right here. Damn it, he broke my shield. It really feels like it, though. It's like, I'm gonna pull the wiki up, though. This is what I wanted to do earlier, right? If you go to Elden Ring endings, everything says there are 6 possible endings. And I don't believe that. Looks like you got his moves down. Yeah, thank you. I've been beating the fuck out of this guy all week. I think you have to combine all of the endings, because look here. I'm level 1, I did not cheat, and I have all of the great runes, right? I did not glitch the game out, and I have all of the mending runes, right? Perfect Order, Death Prince, and the Fell Curse. Death Prince teaches you that runes are born of a mother and father, right? It is a soul carried on, passed down, right? They call this Godwyn the Death Prince. He needs to die a true death and be reborn a rune. That's what they tell you verbatim in this quest line. Her reasoning is wrong, but she gives birth to a rune, right? She has half of it in her. Godwyn had half of it stabbed into him. They give birth to the full thing. That's what this is trying to teach you. This is trying to teach you that the Golden Order is fucked up, and this is trying to teach you that the Golden Order is fucked up in two different ways. This one is telling you, look at what the Dung Eater is doing and how fucking crazy he is. Isn't he crazy? Who taught him that, right? That's what they're trying to tell you with this, and that life is stagnant, right? And the Philosopher's Stone, which is a bit more meta, is all I'll say with that. It teaches you where it's at, Millicent. Anyway, Mending Rune of Perfect Order. Maybe not Millicent, but Melania is what I'll say. And then, not for Mending Rune of Perfect Order. Mending Rune of Perfect Order, you need intelligence, right, to get it. And the only way to get enough intelligence as a level 1 is to go through all of the optional areas and collect all of the side quest stuff. You need Ronnie's quest for this. You need Rhea Lucaria's key for this. And you need to go up towards the Manor's secret area for a physic that gives you plus 10. And then Radagon, or Marika's Sword Seal, is in Nokstella. So you have to go through all of the secret areas before burning the Erd Tree. So you got to go find the truth, right? Where Marika's from, Nokstella underground. That's where all death flows. She's the Glowmide Queen. Why is she the Glowmide Queen? Because she killed the God Lion and took his powers at the beginning of the trailer. So she killed a god, right? There's only one person we know that killed a god, and it's the Glowmide Queen. So if she killed the god and took its powers and gave it to Hoarah, she's the Glowmide Queen. So there's many ties now that you'll see that. Marika, that's the truth you have to see to understand the secret ending. That's everything in the game has two identities, except the Glowmide Queen. And then it's Melina, right? But then again, with the runes being born into people, secret that they're trying to tell you, Melina wasn't around when Marika was rising to power. She didn't have her children yet, right? So there's no way, period, that Melina is the Glowmide Queen that it's all referring to. But this telling you that people are born with the powers of their parents, and Melina are telling you Marika has ties to the Glowmide Queen. Melina has the Glowmide Queen's powers. Powers are born into their children, so Marika is the only parent we know, and Melina is the Glowmide Queen. The current one, right? So, and it actually only happens after you kill Marika, right? So you have to kill Marika for Melina to become the Glowmide Queen. She inherited the power from her mother. Boom. Marika is the Glowmide Queen. It's many ties to it, right? Why is Godwyn buried in the Erd Tree, right? Sprouting both life and death. It's like, well, he's partial life in the gold, because that's what he was born through with the golden powers given to Hoarah, right? And then taken back. A great rune of the Shardbearer Godric, right? They tell you he's the last of the golden lineage. The first demigods were the Elden Lord Godfrey and his offspring, the golden lineage. We know that's wrong, right? Because of the DLC. We know it's wrong. Marika betrayed the demigods in her eyes is what they call them. The Golden Order refers to all of those horned, headless individuals that you get the ash from the DLC as demigods, right? They're the local demigods of these towers and towns. So, no, Godfrey's not the first, right? So this is from the perspective of your player and the Golden Order, because you are a tarnished silver disguised as gold, right? When you look up tarnished silver, it looks like gold. That's the point, right? If you're tarnished, then it's hidden in plain sight. You are silver disguised as gold, right? And it's not true gold, right? You're lead disguised as gold. That's the whole thing. So, if Marika had to remove order of life and death to assume the role of life, then perfect order, right, is outside of the Elden Ring. And that's what not just Goldmask discovers, but Corrin can't believe, right? He believes the perfect order is the Golden Order, the one he was brought up in. So he kills himself when he sees Goldmask produce the rune of perfect order, because he can't believe it. He's like, oh, Goldmask just wanted to make his own order, but yet the tree still burns and the prophecy is true, right? Which means, again, he can't deny it and he's laughing, he goes crazy. The truth is, the Erd Tree should have never burned because the prophecies were not true in the Golden Order. That's why they cut people's eyes out. So it's like, the fact that this rune isn't in Marika right now means perfect order isn't within the order of the Elden Ring, right? The Golden Order, the Elden Ring. It is missing an actual perfect order, missing death, right? And then Fia's wrong because she's also brought up in the Golden Order. It's like the lie that she perpetuated created monsters, right? Same with the Fel. Now you understand Dung Eater and his solar symbolism. When you know the truth, the enlightenment to get to the golden stage, you know that the Dung Eater is only that way because of the Golden Order, right? Lying about his heritage of the sun, right? He praises the sun. So the Golden Order, who was probably the Glowmide Queen, the Night Maiden, Swordstress, the other tie there, would have to be punished. And then it's, again, the Omen are known as Omen to the Golden Order, and the Hornsent to the Shaman Society. So the Shaman call them Hornsent, the Golden Order calls them Omen. That's why if it's defilement in the eyes of the Golden Order, but it is a blessing in the eyes of the Hornsent Solar Sun Society, try saying that 10 times fast, then if order is defiled entirely, defilement is defilement no more. And for every curse, a cursed blessing. Now that fucking deranged sentence makes sense, because I was like, even as crazy as he is, it doesn't make any sense. It's saying that if order is defiled entirely, then defilement is defilement no more. It's trying to tell you, if you change the state of the world soul, right, the world state, as Demon Souls players would know, you would have to put the runes inside of them to create the 7th iteration of this world that has every single fucking ending inside of it. You would need the normal ending, the chaos ending, Fia's ending, Ranni's ending, the Dung Eater's ending, and Goldmask's ending. And then you are on the 7th magnum opus, right? You put it all together into your magnum opus, the perfect run, the God run, as some people would call it, right? And you get your 7th ending. So it only shows itself when you know that Marika's lying. The truth will set you free. You will get that 7th ending. I'm trying to share it with people, but the world, it might not be ready. That is the whole, and then that is why it's tied to Goldmask's ending, isn't it? You have to go through the 7th perfectly Magnum Opus style, it isn't the same playthrough as it was the first time, right? It is your 7th iteration of the world with all of the runes inside of Marika. So instead of granting her power by restoring her head, you grant perfect order back into the Elden Ring. And that's why Gold Masks is the 7th that you have to pick for the 7th true secret ending, isn't it? Isn't it? Absolutely, isn't it? And also, even more so, I found that the whole point of it is seeking to be absolute. You are the absolute, right? Like the fucking Baldur's Gate absolute. I didn't even realize it. You are seeking absolution. That's why there's so much celestial dew around, isn't there? Because to truly be forgiven, you need to do everything in perfect order and show the world that you aren't trying to just conquer the world and burn it or do anything. It is a set, specific criteria that you wouldn't do on accident. That's why no one's found it yet. There's the 7th secret ending. We now have to, also the final part, is you only get your magnum opus after many, many iterations, right? So you have as many attempts with the Philosopher's Stone now as you would need. That's the divinity of 7, right? That's why it needs to be on your New Game Plus 7, and why 7 is where it stops scaling in New Game Plus, right? Because that's it. You've reached enlightenment. Now you get to try as many times as you need to truly achieve with your Philosopher's Stone the perfect order of the world, right? And then you would have to enact it by doing things in the game, creating the Lord that it prophesized. So then you become the Lord, which is the whole point of the alchemical marriage. The final picture is the emergence of the Lord, right? So again, it's not an accident, and it's nothing you could do like without truly discovering the truth. But you have to understand that Marika is lying, right? Radagon as Marika is to tell you the very opening of the game. When you go through New Game Plus 7 times, you or 5, 6 times, you get told the intro 6 times, right? So they say Marika is missing right at the start. That's the significance of the statue. And then it makes you ask, what kind of god would make this statue, right? What kind of god would make that statue? It's only 2. The one that knows and is trying to tell you something, right? Which means it's not a secret. Or the one that doesn't know and isn't a god, because they're not omnipotent. What kind of god would allow that statue to exist? That's the premise of the entire game. Marika's missing. Well, Marika's Radagon. We all know that. What kind of god would allow you to know that? Oh, it's one that would want you to think that. Right? So regardless of what that statue is trying to tell you, the questions give you answers. No matter what, Marika's lying. Because it's something that she wants you to know, right? Or wants you to think, rather. She wants you to think Marika's Radagon. That's the point of that statue. Or she doesn't know, and then her not knowing that someone hid that statue there means, well, she's not a goddess. Because she's not omnipotent, as some people say. I think it's one of those things where there are multiple languages, so there's multiple identities for the word, so there's no use arguing over it, personally. But I feel the game has taught me that. Horn Scent, Omen, same shit. Okay. Almost a perfect dodge, but I kind of gave up after that dodge because I would have had such little health for the final boss. You guys, we almost did it right at the fucking opening. I mean, we're gonna be sitting here for hours. I'm gonna go get some coffee. That wiki is wrong. There are 7 potential endings. And that's why no one has discovered it yet. We will be... Well, I discovered it. I guess we did it. Now the truth is out there, no matter what. If it is found to be a 7th secret ending, we did it. But I believe there is, and I already achieved it here real quick. Let me just do this. I've proven that I can defeat the boss. I don't want to. You should be able to use everything to your advantage, right? Access everything is what I was gonna say, but this is a proving of skill. I don't want to summon people. I didn't really set that rule at the start, but I wonder, to be fair, I was summoning people all night to help me beat New Game Plus 6. I took a picture of the guy who finally let me fucking get through it. God damn, dude. I was fighting non-stop, and then the person I summoned would die, and then I'm fighting a boss that has, like, double health. It's so fucking painful. But we did it. We're at New Game Plus 6 choice. Fuck it. Because I know I'm going to be summoning people the whole time. We already beat him. Now it's a metaphorical beating. Here, right? You need to be a better person. We almost killed the goddamn boss. So now you have to accept that sometimes your best isn't good enough and you need help from other people, right? I wouldn't have gotten this far if it wasn't for the help of others. My god, there's no one here. My god. Oh god, there's no one here. It's because of my level scaling, isn't it? I have no choice but to do it solo. Well, it's a level association, so no one is here as a level 1. So and they're not doing a summon sign. There's literally no way for me to summon anybody for help. I have to kill the boss by myself. Actually didn't even realize that until I tried. Like, as I did it and I saw no signs come up, I was like, oh yeah, fuck. No wonder I was one of the people to discover the truth. No one's crazy enough to even go into New Game Plus 7, let alone assume that that's where the true ending is hidden. I was like, people can't... You don't want to admit to yourself that you can't get there, and that's where the true ending is, probably. Right? I feel bad saying it, but I mean, that is most likely what had happened to everybody. It's like 10% of people have the fucking achievement to even get most of the stuff. You don't even have to get all of the endings. Oh, and that's the hint. And that's the hint I needed to confirm it. You don't need all of the endings to get the achievement for doing everything in Elden Ring. When you do, you're still missing all of the secret endings. It's weird to say, Oh, and that's telling you the order. Wow. I went through like 7 layers of obscurity just to not use my eyes. I was wrong so many times, but now I know I was right more than I was wrong, and I'm happy about that. Like, I was wrong about... I was just thinking about it a minute ago. There's a character I was wrong about. Oh, like Dialos and stuff, like certain characters are like trying to get everybody to live, right? I think that might be a thing. That's why I think you have so many attempts to achieve the perfect ending. And that's why it stopped scaling at 7. I'm gonna have to put together the fucking Avengers to get me through all of the bosses after I also do the quests in the perfect order. This is like the true forming of the round table, dude. You gotta, like, round table hold my ass. We're gonna have to fucking... I'm just laughing. We're gonna actually have to put together an order of people to help get through New Game Plus 7. I think that was the problem last night, is as I was summoning people, their names were like Big Damage and shit like that. And no one was doing any damage. I was like, oh no. And I could tell by their reaction of how they were fighting that they were expecting to cheese the boss and just blow up the boss real quick. So it's even funnier that they get there, it's a New Game Plus 6 version of the boss with all of the health. They try to hit it, and no, it does like 2,000 damage to my 1,500, and they're like, oh fuck, me and this guy are doing the same amount of damage. But also, no one could dodge the fucking attacks. Not even me. I think I cracked up at one death where me and my summon, just a rando, we were doing perfect. Me and this chick were kicking the crap out of Marika. We, like, oh my god, dude. We did so good. And then we get to the last combo. We both dodge perfectly. We both dodge a little too early on the very last hit, get sent into the fucking air and die in one shot at the very end, like, what of Radagon, not of the Elden Beast, like it happened today. I was like, oh my god. I just started laughing because I was like, we're doing so good, and then one little mistake on New Game Plus 6 is like, oh, game over. It's like, it doesn't matter how much health you have, because you're pretty much doing a no leveling playthrough when you're doing New Game Plus. So I think that is why the game guides you no leveling. It's not because you have to do a no leveling playthrough. It's because you will be forced into doing a no leveling playthrough by the end of it, whether you like it or not. That is essentially what happened, and why no one can get through New Game Plus, right? New Game Plus 6, I was like, oh my god, this is like I'm doing a no level. I'm level 200, and it's like I'm fucking level 1 right now, and what is happening? Like, it got really easy, and then it got really hard again as the week went on. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? So, like, you don't even for the true ending, you don't have to do it as a level 1, because the game is going to make you experience that. I'm going to have to do this again. But the good news is, I didn't have to do a level 1 playthrough to get through the game again, right? The bad news is, it's even worse than I thought. I'm gonna have, I can't even level if I wanted to. I'm gonna be level 200, and it's like I'm level 1. So good luck, everybody. If you want the secret ending, you have to actually get good. You have to do a no leveling playthrough, whether you like it or not, for the secret ending. Now that I'm at level 7 New Game Plus, I've discovered, I'm like, oh, it's just scaled like that. That's why it feels that way. Because when the game is forcing this path on you, you are like unable to not see the truth, right? You're like, oh, this is, well, you're like, this is just telling me the story. But it's like, yeah, now I understand why it felt like that. I couldn't imagine doing New Game Plus. Oh, and it's also because my dumbass did like a new game, a no leveling 100% playthrough. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? That is the path that they want you to do. What the fuck is wrong with me? No wonder. There was probably someone at From Software sitting at the fucking desk watching this, eating popcorn. Like, I wonder if this dipshit's actually gonna fucking find the secret ending. The truth is, no, I didn't. I found the path for it, and now I have to beat the game God knows how many times in New Game Plus 7 to truly achieve it. And that's why it stopped scaling at 7, because it's like a level 1 playthrough, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because you're gonna have to go through this anyway. I feel so much better because I know no one can rush ahead of me, right? That's what it feels like. No one can just, oh, I know the path of truth and I'm gonna go achieve it and I'm gonna go beat the game and get the secret ending. It's like, good fucking luck, dude. You have to beat the game 6 times, get the perfect order of endings, get every ending, and then the last playthrough, you're doing a no leveling playthrough because it's going to be scaled that way. You can't choose the bosses. It's 1.25 scaling on everything. Resistance, damage, health. Like, I'm getting 2-shot and I have 70 vigor. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now on my other guy? I was like, I went from like every boss is easy to like, I'm doing a level 1 playthrough again. It's like, but now I understand why. It's because it's warning you with the Elden Beast how hard the next playthrough is about to be. And honestly, I'm so scared. I thought no leveling was hard. I'm praying that New Game Plus 7 is fucking easier. There are crazy people who do like New Game Plus 99 or whatever. Like, they unbreak the scaling and just go up. That person can beat me. They can go and do it gameplay wise. If I told them the path of quests, right? Easy. All I'm gonna say is I didn't expect to loop around Limgrave like 4 times, but you know what? It makes sense why you gotta talk to Callie and then Blythe again. Also then spiral up through the river? Question mark? Cycle back down? Question mark? You have to go through the Philosopher's Stone process in-game, right? I won't do a question mark. I know, right? These will be hints. So it's laid out that way, right? That's again, now I'm using my eyes. Now I'm not assuming, I'm using in-game. It went from how I read the lore to game design backwards. Now I read the game design and I'm reading the lore, and now through that I'm understanding the gameplay. It's crazy, but it's true. Limgrave, across the Bridge of Sacrifice, back up around through the castle, right, on the hill. You find the truth there, and then from there you can't unsee what I'm talking about. Damn it, it turned into a sprint instead of a roll. That's unfortunate. Like my force, like past me can just speak into my brain now directly. All I have to say is Godskin prayer book? Question mark? And then Godskin prayer book! Exclamation point, right? It went from why is this here to of course this is here. I'm a fucking idiot, dude. So, it's what it feels like. Honestly, I'm like, okay. I was walking around last night giggling to myself, like, of course nobody fucking discovered this. This is the most obscured bullshit, but it's not bullshit. It's actually a wonderful story, a great allegory for many things. But, like, again, becoming a better version of yourself seems to be the running theme, and forgiving. You have to forgive not just yourself, not just people, but the world, right? And the state of the universe. You're like, damn. Yeah, there's sadness, right? Yeah, what is it? Well, oh, fuck, I forgot that it's an Avenged Sevenfold lyric. It's like asking questions that you won't know the answer to. Sometimes you just ask yourself questions that you don't think anyone will ever know the answer to, right? Not everyone does. I feel some people are scared to do that, and that's potentially why the secret ending stayed so secret for years. which is crazy to say. And that's also why I can't believe that I found it, because I'm like, this is years after the game has come out and no one has found it, and I'm claiming to have found it, right? It's like, but it's the DLC in like From Software normal fashion. It's not just, oh, I am a fucking super genius that deduced it myself from the base game. It was like they came out with a DLC that gives you all of the answers. So it's like, yeah, they kind of just told us everything in the DLC. I was just, as someone who found the secret path first in the DLC, right? On my stream, I'm not even making that up. I was streaming it. We went and looked up a bunch of guides to find the last 2 Shadow Tree fragments, and no one could fucking find them. So then I went and I jumped down a path that I was like suspecting was a path. I was like, it looks like a path, but it's not a path. It's just like decoration on the building. Like, you see how this is like a pattern right here? It's like if I was like jumping onto this, right? This like thing above me. It's like that's essentially what it looked like to everyone else. And I was like, no, it's clearly a path, but how do I get down there? Or how do I get up there? And then when we finally reached the top of the DLC, I was like, okay, it's back down, right? And then we found a secret path by just jumping onto some fucking scaffold. It wasn't even scaffolding. It was like trim of a building, an invisible broken path. And then we got the Shadow Tree fragment that IGN and the wiki didn't have, so which allowed us to press forward into the DLC before everyone else, right? Everyone was looking for the fragment. I just took a leap of faith, literally found it before any of the guides on stream after streaming for days and hours, so it wasn't like I was watching anyone else, right? I clearly wake up, start the fucking stream because the DLC is out. I didn't want to fall behind, so I found answers, right? And those answers are helping me find the secret path in this game. But here, the alchemical process goes: base world, the forming of the world, the prima materia. That's this. Then you get turned around a couple of times, right? So here, you go up, you get turned around here. You keep going, you loop back around, you talk, or you don't even need to talk to Kali, right? You could do this. You loop around, talk to Yura, Dragon, Patches, Wind Tunnel, Art Guy, Kenneth, Siofra, Blythe, Fort, back up, Stellan. You can ask Kale now the second time, talk to Rena, go up, or then you go this way, you help Bach, right? And then it loops you back, a bunch of looping back around, right? And the map, it literally draws a circle. It's a circle, and then you're finally strong enough, you found the upgrades to go forward. The last circle is of Limgrave, right? So then you have Roderica, Bernal, you do the Saints Bridge, D, right? D sends you down to the Church of Marika. He asks you to cross Caelid, but he gives you a marker for right here, and there are wind paths here. So really, it is a loop, 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 loop. Right? Oh, and I forgot to say, after you loop back around and you talk to Blythe, you can help him with the Forlorn Evergaol. Jump down here, walk through, right? Because this is where you'll wind up. You go down to this forest, you wind up on the beach, you jump down to the ruins, and you're on the lowest level of the sand now, into the hole, down here, up the elevator, you wind up right at the very beginning when you finish Limgrave, showing you that you're supposed to loop. So that's that you have to do that the whole game. That's the perfect order. Actually, it's not, because you don't want certain things too early. Again, with foresight, if you just follow the guides that are out, they have you talk to Latenna and then go into Albinorg Village, talk to Albus, get the medal, go and do everything, right? You're skipping a million steps. all of the guides online, because of the efficient path going straight through, that's not what they want you to do. The true ending has you spiral, right? Outward. You go back down, across the Bridge of Sacrifice. The second part of the second stage goes from Prima Materia to Massa Confusa, symbolized by madness. This is your first interaction with a village of madness. You meet the Maiden of Madness, and then somebody here in Castle Morn who you get a Shabriri grape from, right? So you then loop here. Actually, you're supposed to break the cycle, right? This is also teaching you through design. You don't go through the path. You go across this area, and then you wind up here at the Earthbore Cave. You do the Demi Runes. You spiral out. You wind up here. You go back. You can cross the catacombs. You don't have to do the Minor Erdtree yet or the church. You just go straight, hit the tomb, hit this merchant tower, but you know not to do that yet, right? Because it's a trap. You keep going, hit the Erdtree, right? Or even better, you keep going and following the path. You get to the catacombs, then you do the pilgrim, right? The pilgrimage, and then that tells you again it's done, right? So now you can go the other way. So you can either finish with the Erdtree if you want, and then you're going to Castle Morn, where this loop begins, right? Where do you hit a wall, right? There's a giant shooting at you, so you got to turn around. Boom. Boom. It's like, whenever you hit a wall, the game is asking you to turn around. It's not telling you you're not good enough. It's telling you, use your fucking eyes before you come this far. So you spiral, and then you will be able to jump up to this rise, do this, come through, wind up at Hyetta if you want, right? You could just come down the path. There's a bunch of different spirals, but it's better to constantly visit without killing because it changes the story. If you go too fast, Hyetta dies because of you, right? You just essentially abandon her. But if you go the other way, and you do all of this shit first, and then come back, and Hyetta's still sitting there, well, she wasn't your responsibility this whole time, so now you can ask her, what's up, lady? Why are you sitting here? And then she says, can you go drop a letter off to my father? So then you go straight there, right? It changes the context of it. You've already explored everything. So she's been sitting there a while. She doesn't die immediately, so she's not in immediate danger because she has the guards protecting her, the Golden Order. So you get to do the actual order. But then, when you go and deliver her letter and come back to her, she's been killed. So to go back with the theme of looping, now you can avenge her. Because if you went to Castle Morn first and then killed the uprising slaves, you're the bad guy. But if you went on this giant fucking exploration quest, this giant pilgrimage, if you will, to explore, literally a quest just to explore, you're on a pilgrimage, then you wind up back here, right? You loop all the way back around, then you wind up here. The woman is still just sitting there, right? It's not as urgent because the Golden Order has been protecting her this time. She's not your responsibility, is what you're telling the game, because you aren't seeking the normal path of the Golden Order. Again, you're telling the game through your actions. It's like, what are you going to do? So I think you have to go pick up all the blue items. I know that sounds insane. I think that's why it's called Absolute, right? The Age of Absolute. Age of the Absolute. Age of Absolution. You need to absolutely fucking destroy this game is what you need to do. You need to 100% it. So the best way to do it is to spiral through and do every single fucking thing, talk to every NPC in the exact order that you're required. But then when you get to the end of the game, there are a bunch of choices, and it's not about talking to people in the right order for like that you come across them. It's about doing it in the right order to fulfill the prophecy. As soon as you get past the upper part, right, into the plateau. But we're not even there yet. We're only on phase 2. Then you go up, and you would assume the second phase is the phase of the moon and Ronnie because it sends you to Liurnia. But you're wrong. Rajier is the next quest through Margit. You summon him, and then you find him in here. Then he has you find Godwyn's face underneath this castle, right? Death Blight. Then it sends you up to the Black Knife Catacombs. Then it asks you on Rajier's quest to go find Fia or Ronnie. Then she declines you, and Rajier fulfills his life's purpose, right? It's what I said before. I was really onto something when I asked this. Is it better to live forever, like Millicent's whole quest dilemma? Is it better to live forever or truly live a life worth living and die a natural death? Right? It's like if you live forever, but someone else's mind controlling you, right? That's the other alternative. It's like Millicent would have lived forever as Melania, right? And Mikola, because by proxy, that's the whole emphasis of their quest. But I won't even get into that. It's just telling you, Millicent expressly tells you, I took the gold needle out because I don't want to have my will taken away, right? Her whole thing is she is willpower. She is the manifestation of Melania's will. So it's not about keeping everyone alive, because then you are no better than Marika, right? You're just trying to perpetuate life, and you don't actually value their life because they're suffering. If you go into the DLC, right, the first item tells you this theme. Hornsent employed this to honorably end the suffering of a compatriot. After claiming numerous lives, the dagger is now broken and has acquired a spectral aura. It is there to make sure people die honorably and end the suffering of them, right? It is the first item you pick up in all of the talismans. It is an empty field with one town in the middle. Again, if you just use your eyes, it sends you back. You go down to a little cove of Marika to upgrade, or you go to this area where you find this, right? This is the first thing you should find in the DLC if you are looking for secrets at all. So the truth seekers are told you must kill things honorably to end their suffering. You shouldn't lie and deceive people like Celavis. You shouldn't do all these fucked up things like Gideon the All-Knowing, abandoning people, right? It matters how you pursue lordship. That's why there's like 180 fucking states in the game. But as soon as you realize that, the game gets way easier. You narrow it down to, okay, well, what are the best moral endings, the perfect order? And then again, everyone's quest has a ending way down the line that allows them to survive and go on doing good, right? Especially if you don't take their item, and you wouldn't need it on the 7th playthrough, right? Because they're like, well, you're on New Game Plus 7. You should have all of the other shit by now. So, and the only two things you can truly get locked out of are the axe of Grand, or not the axe, the bolt of Grandsax. Goddamn, all the fucking dragon names are the same. Bolt of Grandsax, not Fortisax or Placidusax or Lanciax. I know all of them literally have the same naming convention, but it's the Bolt of Grandsax, like grandfather dragon. So Grandsax attacked Lindell because of this whole truth. Now we understand. I'm gonna get coffee. The fact that we almost killed the boss upset me so. But I needed to express this. We found the 7th secret ending. And the the reason I didn't even feel I could share it is because I was like, well, it's gonna be a whole process to find it. You can't even begin unless you start admitting to yourself that you're not good enough to beat the bosses, which is crazy. Because again, the scaling at 7, even if you're level 200 max the fuck out, it is a new game level 1 playthrough. Like, that's what it feels like. So good luck on your quest for truth. I know it's there and I'm not gonna stop. But it will take breaks. I'll be right back. I know that I know nothing. And I think that's the mentality we have to go in with for the fucking search. Searching for the 7th. Originally, I was like, what the fuck order is it in? Like, how do I find the order, right? I was thinking maybe Chaos first, because it's the easiest to get. But it was like, no, they wouldn't make it like like something you would accidentally do, right? So that was, I kept doubting. Oh, and Theralina. Wait, kill me? Quick. I just want to read the item. Alright, ready? Before we confirm, I just want to see visibly if she is physically the same appearance. Because the name Theralina means maiden who has passed, like essentially transcended, has passed on to a higher realm of existence, right? Like it's like a old school name for some sort of priestess and pope. Thero and Therai. Thero used to be the masculine form, which again, there's a lot of symbolisms of women with masculine names and stuff in this game, which is cool. Like, I'm noticing that that's the theme of, like, people wanting to be the opposite gender, right? A trans allegory. You have the Temple of Manus dude in DLC, Manus Meteor, the Meteor boss. He wants to be a mother of fingers, but he's a guy. That's the, and then that's why I think the vagabond armor is his. Oh, we should go get that thing so I don't waste time fighting, actually. Let's see if we could find it. Cool, we should go buy it from the person. If you go read the vagabond armor, it's someone who wanted to be a finger maiden. It says a man who wanted to be a finger maiden, left the lands between, and wanted to... Yep. Well, I mean, they all kind of... I mean, she's a blue spirit. She's in different clothing. I mean, that doesn't matter. It's Celavis's puppet. But they're all in different they're all in the same clothing. Oh, wait, no. Because you don't meet anyone. She has darker hair, right? I'm trying to, like, cope myself into thinking it isn't your maiden. Yeah, she has, like, dark hair, where the one here has lighter hair. I mean, I guess it literally doesn't matter, because it's a spirit possessing the body. But they typically make the puppets look like the people, so I'm gonna just assume that this is a different finger maiden then. But that actually means this one isn't your finger maiden. The description of Theralina suggests that she was your finger maiden and is now dead and unable. It's ironic that she cannot guide you in life, right? That the guidance didn't bring you together in life is pretty much how they like specify. They're like, isn't it ironic that the guidance of grace did not bring these two together, right? It's like, you are maidenless and she is tarnished-less, right? She doesn't have a tarnished. But the item specifies that during her lifetime she was never brought together. And it's like, that's a weird way to put it, right? Because now she's a spirit. So it's like saying, well, she found a tarnished in the end. But it's not saying it's just any tarnished will do, because Vari is like, well, it has to be your maiden, right? The one you are destined for. So, if the item is hinting that you two are fated to be together in life, but she's dead, then Theralina was your maiden. right? Because she would have been your maiden in life, meaning if there was only one maiden for anyone, right? Then it would have been Theralina to you if it specifies that she is your maiden. Or could have been in life. It's like, well, if she could have been in life, no one could be anyone's maiden for no reason. She would have been fated for me in life. So Seluvis killed your maiden. Which is funny because it's not the one in the Church of Anticipation, which does feel like a Souls thing. Like, the first maiden you meet isn't your maiden, and then the one you meet after that is also not your maiden, Melina. But Melina tells you, like, oh, I'm not your maiden. So, it's like, it isn't until you find someone who's killing people for, like, no reason to turn them into controlled puppets that it's like, oh, I found my maiden, she was just killed for no reason for Seluvis and Pydia, which is, that is a Dark Souls story, right? You find your maiden just off, like, you know, in the distance somewhere. The one in the church, I feel, could also be yours. It's just there's no information on her. It's, like, left ambiguous. But you're expressly told, like, oh, Theralina could have been yours when she was alive. It's like, well, if you know how maidens work... Well, one, you know, like, the Empyrean thing is a lie, if you really know. Which is how I feel like the truth. But if you know how everyone talks about maidens, you're only fated for your one maiden, so... them being suggested to be yours means that is yours, right? No one else, right? None of the other maidens are suggested to be your maiden. But then you meet her, and it's like, she actually helps you in combat as a healer, right? Even as a puppet. When someone else is controlling her, she's still even helping you. So it's like, damn. Like, Pydia controls her for the Radahn fight is what people theorize. She doesn't talk, she just gives you the bow. And then that ends up making it so that, like, oh, well, the spirit within still, like, it's just the fate that she's your maiden. Like, no matter what, she was gonna help you. And that's how you would have actually fought with your maiden, right? That, because if Vari and Melina know, oh, this person's by themselves, right? They're maidenless. It's like, when you had your maiden and you were traveling in twos, as was the promise long ago, and she knew faith spells and incantations as well, then it would work exactly as your summon, right? Not Melina, who guided you. Because the guidance is also them being there. It's like multiple reasons why it should be Theralina, right? Or that should be, but is. Just with the way the game tells you through other characters, like, oh, you don't have a maiden, this is what a maiden is, right? Like, every time you bump into someone who mentions it, it's like, well, if they're supposed to be with you, accompanying you on your journey, right? Melina says, oh, well, I can, like, play the role of maiden, even though I'm not your maiden, right? So she tells you, oh, I'm not your maiden. And then Irina wants to be a maiden. Hyetta, I believe, was Vike's maiden and dies. It's the friends. It's when you think that you have to kill people. I went through it for a second there. I was like, do I have to, like, kill people for the Church of Absolution? I thought it was like banking NPCs, but then I heard that you can't revive them. Like, it's not just like a NPC bank where I could just, like, put them in storage and then revive them at the end of the game. I was like, that would be the easiest fucking solution. Keep everyone alive, right? Just kill everybody myself. But then that is the Frenzied Flame of Madness kind of Vike ending, right? Why they have to lock those motherfuckers up. Because if you're driven crazy by the misunderstanding of the world by the Golden Order, and you see it through their eyes as well, then you're driven crazy, and you're like, well, I guess I gotta kill everybody to restore order, but it's like, that isn't how the Absolution actually works, right? You need to find someone to save, and then they'll be upset at you, and then you ask for forgiveness after proving to them like it's actually not what it looks like. Well, how I believe it to be, I don't know if it's true or not, but this is why it's going to take many runs to get the magnum opus, is the flame to save her, maybe, but then when you're there, you've already done everything, so you can cleanse yourself at Placidusax. But you have to do everything right to do that, because Millicent would need to die, but it's like a life worth living thing, right? Do you want to save everyone, or do you want Millicent to be a happy soul in the end, right, instead of a tortured soul? Moral victory over the keep everyone alive selfishly, because then you didn't learn anything from the game. That's the whole point. Oh shit. It's a black hole, obviously. I tried to run out and it pulled me back in. I was like, oh shit. Alright, I'm gonna drink some coffee. So again, if you just 100% the game or try to keep everyone alive, it isn't something that you would discover on accident. If you do everything in the proper order that the game is trying to show you, you'll find the true ending, right? It's like as soon as you say it out loud, it's like, oh yeah, duh. You have to beat everything for the true ending, right? Duh. But it's finding that is obscured 3 times, right? America's lying, and also the writers created a fantasy world, so it's not one-to-one on alchemy stories. You're fucking interpreting things as you look at them. So that's why it's like 3, and then you have to pretty much think about yourself and be like, all right, well, I know I'm looking at it, right? I don't want to misunderstand it, so I got to reanalyze it under the, you know, creator's perspective or the original perspective each time. Make sure you're not holding any bias. Because I know I was like, oh dude, I'm so right. And then I looked up a couple things and I was like, wait, you mean to tell me that the first phase in the chemical marriage, or the first phase in the 7 steps of alchemy, have to do with a sword woman? I was like, well, fucking duh. But you, again, if you know she's the Glomite queen and the great sword is hers, she's a sword woman, right? And unifying the head, right? She's missing her head or whatever the fuck. Duh. So it's like, yeah, the first step would have to be the normal ending, where you give her fucking head back. The sword woman. Or the sword woman. The lady. No. America gets her head back. But then it's like so many different steps in all of these things. You got to put together like 5 different. That's why I was like, ugh, I know that I know nothing, because there's a couple of different ways, and that's the uncertain part, right? At the very beginning of the game, the reason it could be your maiden, and also Theralina, is if Theralina died and knows about the souls, she would be the perfect person to leave a message about, oh, like, become the true lord, which the whole alchemy thing is becoming a lord. So it's like, become a true lord, even though the path may be broken and uncertain. God knows I've been uncertain 90% of the time on this. I'm like, am I sure about this? And then I'm like, no, that's the whole point. They tell you to be certain and don't have doubts. And when you're playing, you shouldn't have hesitation, obviously. Look at this. No hesitation, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Roll, attack, roll, attack, attack, attack. You can go for 4, but I don't. Just to get my stamina back. Run away, dodge away. Ow. Little risky. You could just kind of shotgun blast like that. As soon as he teleports, that's what I'm looking out for, is the shotgun. Woo. This is where I would summon my Mimic if I had one. Please. Damn it. It's like barely too early. Flex again, just to show myself I can do it. Fuck. We almost killed it a minute ago, and I took that screenshot. Fuck me. The thing is, my Mimic doesn't do anything. It fucking does nothing. The extra damage is gonna make up for the extra health. So I'm gonna die in one shot still, but I believe. Actually. Alright, let's just go get that thing. It's like how to beat the Elden Ring boss. No, seriously though. This is like the best physic you can possibly get for the Elden Beast. You don't need to go to this church. Just go to the fire giant. And then right outside, go north to there. Don't worry about the marker. I'm gonna walk you there. Don't worry about the map. Fire giant is anywhere here, right? You could take any of the chains. There's that chain. There's this chain, right? I think that's the last chain, so. As soon as you get here, just hug the fucking cliff. Congratulations, you're gonna get it. That's all you need to do, and then you're gonna get the best physic. Right, you just hug that cliff, and then you'll walk along. Not that. Oh, hello, sir. Don't mind me, you can keep sunbathing. Okay, that's a big hand. Just walk along the cliff. See, this guy's gonna throw stuff down at you, so it's better to aggro him so that he's not doing that, right? And then you go down. So they've stopped. Are they just pulling it out of nothing, Looney Tunes style? Where the fuck are they getting these jars from? He's literally pulling it out of nowhere. Alright. I guess it was in Caelid last night. I was like, didn't I have someone break jars? And you want to hug that right there. That cliff. Right? Ew. Horrifying. If you just hug the outer cliff the whole time, you will technically... It's a safer route, and you will wind up right here. Just don't jump off the cliff like I did. I didn't die, but goddamn. I mean, by those jar guys, I kind of just went like this. Wait for my stamina. Grab this. I went off and then back. Okay, so big hand. We can just jump here. No need to go back. Oh, it's up here. I was like, where the fuck did we get caught? But it was right here. South. You just walk straight north. And then get to the edge. Probably faster, but... I mean, you're gonna have those jar guys throwing stuff at you the whole time. And also two big hands will drop down and chase you. So it is faster. Not as safe, right? You saw the hands were kind of ignoring me. The big ass hands. So don't do that unless you can survive it. So I accidentally discovered the correct path, is what I'll say. Or somewhere along. What I think you have to do, based on the old Dark Souls criteria, you had to die 5 times to like bring out the hollow in you. So I think you have to die to Saint Trina, right? And then you had to talk to certain people before certain things happened. So I think it is the don't exhaust everyone's dialogue entirely, but make sure to talk to everyone, right? Talk to everyone, and you don't need to exhaust their dialogue, right? Like the whole Selene thing. She was like, hey, after you become Elden Lord and everything is all good in the world, even if you don't become Elden Lord, why don't you come back to Raya Lucaria? It's like, okay. Like, kind of a hint, but if you are pursuing Radagon's complete path, when he finishes his war with Raya Lucaria, he absolves himself with Celestial Dew at the Church of Vows, right? Absolution is what he sought. So, if you don't marry Ranni, because she's a doll, I know Selene's technically a doll too, but I guess Ranni is possessed by a god spirit. That's why, like, you see her spirit kind of like barely possessing the doll. Selene is her primal or primeval glintstone or whatever still. So her soul was just put into the doll. It's like with the blood vessels or whatever. It isn't the same process, I don't think, because Ranni can just possess the tiny doll at will, right? There isn't a ritual. She's just kind of like, oh, cool, thanks, deuces. And then the next time you talk to her, she's the tiny doll. And then you find her again, she's a big doll. And then she fades away and then comes back again, dressed. Like, there's a lot of teleporting with that doll. It's a little strange. But it's more of a spirit, right? Symbolism of a frost witch, icy white frost witch. Also, one of those steps of alchemy is called like the Adonis rebuilt or something. It's about like a corpse of a god or so. As soon as I read it, I was like, okay, that's Godwin. Like, that's his ending right there. It was funny. Some of them weren't as clear as others, but some of them, like, I would read it and be like, okay, I know exactly who the fuck that is. Maybe America's not the play here. Maybe we do... I was doing better Sword and Shield Talisman. Primal Glintstone Blade. The old sorcerers would slice open their hearts with these blades to imbue a primal glintstone with their soul, and thus did they die. Okay, so Sellen's dead. That sucks. I wish I didn't read that. No. So that one so Sellen has to turn into the grave, doesn't she? As much as I like her. I was just arguing about how she's alive, and I was like, well, she gives you something similar to this item. Don't know why I was compelled to read that, but my brain... Alright, so I guess... Because if you 100% the game, you find all of the spells, and you have to see their locations and their connections to the other locations, right? What's there, why you're picking it up. Like, I was picking up the Eternal Darkness in Celia, right? And I was like, oh, they have the character I'm looting this off of, it's like dressed instead of with noble attire with the sinner's hood, but I only know that because I've beaten the fucking game and got the sinner's hood like way at the end in Lindell in the sewer. So I was like, oh damn, like this person is labeled a sinner and put in a cell because of the sorcery that I looted off of them, right? It's like you have to go and experience all of the things that make this game. You have to go 100% the game with the eyes of America's Line. Congratulations. New eyes. You get to play through Elden Ring for the first time again. I said it before, but now I can say it 100%. America's Line in the Golden Order is broken because of Goldmask's ending. She's pretending to be Radagon. So if she was pretending to be Radagon, she would probably leave a statue around telling people she's Radagon, right? Right? Or, again, if that's not the case, then they hid a statue from the god. Explain how that's possible. She's a god. She's supposed to be the one that does everything and grants miracles. How could you keep secrets from an omnipotent god, right? You can't. She's not omnipotent. Or, again, it's like the statue gives you two questions that either way the answer is not good. Either she wants you to think she's Radagon when she's not, or she did attain godhood and is, you know, just doesn't want anyone else to replace her out of fear of the Golden Order being, you know, something worse like what the Red King had. I call him Radagon the Red. There's Radagon of the Golden Order, and then there's the first version of him of Radagon the Red. He's the fire giant that she remade, the king of that tower in the DLC. Because it's like there would have to be two identities hidden away. An original fire giant identity, and we don't see the king of that society. And there would have to be a woman of death hidden away, which we know there is, the Glomide Queen, and she's constantly trying to hide it away. So it's like, okay, well, we have that, and in the base game you don't have a fire giant king, and then, or like anything for them to truly be king of, right? The ruins span everywhere, but they don't formally establish like, oh, the Golden Order didn't descend from the Giants. And then that's what the DLC tells you. It's like, well, the Golden Order didn't descend from the Giants. It's like, okay, well, fuck. Here's a rock. So if it didn't descend from the Giants, that means that there was a kingdom beforehand that was conquered, and we've been told many times in game that Marika went to war with the Giants, right? Radagon hates his red hair because it reminds him of Giants. Golden Order hates Giants. That's what the only reason the fucking Fire Giant's alive is because he has to be. Marika does not like him. She realized that the fire would never die and then condemned him to the giant mountaintop to watch over the flame. Right? So she doesn't like fire, she doesn't like giants. They have to be around. Now with that perspective, go look for all of the giant symbolism, and again, it's like the Omen thing. They renamed the trolls from smaller giants. They're just lesser giants. Why do you have the stomach ripped out of trolls? It's because they had the fell flame that the giants did, right? Why the fuck would they have that if they weren't related? They were giants. So it's like, or somewhat related to them, a lineage, right? Which is, again, like erasing your heritage. The world trees, the great hollows. Whoa, instant transmission. I knew it would happen if we kept trying. Fuck. How my other character's just faster, I guess. I honestly, I don't know. Same exact setup. Other guy just swiftness. Maybe we actually aren't fast enough. I gotta go let me solo her style. I feel so much faster. Like gaming in your underwear. It must be awkward on the Game Grumps when they decide to do that. That's like your one shot. What opportunity. Stab, roll, stab, 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 slash, slash, technically. Listen here, Buster. That's so fucking dumb. Ugh. I like rolled and bounced off of him and just went completely. I tried to roll forward like this, but he's like a wall, so instead it hit me and sent me sideways like that. Didn't hit me physically, I like just bumped into him like a wall, right? Like this, ready? I try to roll into him. Like that, exactly. I got. This is why you set your physic up. I don't think I actually made the change. I picked up the thing and didn't equip it, I realized. Well, I'm not even upset at that death. That was on me. Alright. Let me make sure. Pretty sure I didn't equip it. I fucked that up. Converts damage received into HP. It's elemental magic damage. However, physical damage cannot be converted, right? So don't get hit by the sword. You just use this. It's like 15 seconds, but that's as long as that star thing lasts. So as soon as he starts charging up, you just attack him. And then right before the Elden Beast casts and sets it off, like shoots the thing from their sword. You drink up, maybe one little thing taps you and does like one little tick of damage, but it doesn't explode until the like 10 seconds are up. So you have this entire, it's healing you now, right? You've turned the Elden Beast into a heal as you get to beat the crap out of it. So as long as you don't get hit by the sword, it's healing you, right? Drastic change. One of the worst moves everybody hates turns into your favorite fucking move in the entire thing. So very drastic change. That's why as soon as I realized I didn't put it on, I was like, oh my god, whatever. I'll try my hardest, but I was just kind of giggling, like I fucked up. Like I died before I even walked in here. So that's probably why a lot of people can't beat the game, is it's like it's asking you to do RPG knowledge, like turn-based RPG stuff in an action RPG, right? So you gotta like, what element is this thing weak to? One of my most upvoted messages is just try fire. That tells you something about the community. I'll be right back. And we've decided. Do nothing but seek truth, right? That's the theme. Deny the religious lies. uh It's so funny, dude. Like, if you go read the comments on the wiki, it's like, no wonder no one's found the fucking secret ending. Like, I'm not even joking. Go pick any page, right? Go pick your favorite character and then go read the comments. People are still wondering, like, why this guy is the bad guy. It's like, that guy's not, what are you talking about? It's like, oh my god, dude. People were arguing about Fia, right? Like, they were like, Fia is a bad guy because they killed Dee's brother, right? Twin brother. The story tells you, go find the owner of this dagger and give it back to him. And that's what kills Dee, is the death blight in the dagger. You can't attack anyone in Round Table Hold. You killed Dee. That's the fucking story. So it's like even funnier. He might have asked you to find the person, but you know what Death Blight is by then, that deep into the quest, especially if you've been helping her. So it's like, you're giving, and then again, she's finding the owner, which is probably her, or Dee's twin. Remember, they share a soul. Everything that Dee does, his twin thinks the same thing, right? D and D. D&D, I just realized. But anyway, Dee, Hunter of the Dead. There's Devin and Darian, right? Those are the two, I'm pretty sure. they share a soul. They don't ever walk together because it's one soul switching bodies. The one underground, I'm pretty sure it's Darian is the one in the round table hold that you are with for the start of the game. And then Devin, or Delvin, or whatever his name is the other one that you find underground. Because he's the one that's saying Darian's name when he's dying, right? When you give Darian the dagger, and you tell Fia, then you go talk to his twin, there's like a bonus dialogue of him saying, like, oh, Darian, like, oh god, like he's saying his name. So he's like, I'm feeling my brother's pain while he's dying, and he's mourning his death in real time, right? And feeling it because they are a shared soul. So that's the only reason I can tell them apart, is I'm like, well, the one that can barely talk, the only thing he fucking says is the other guy's name. So, alright. It's like, it's a little easier to tell them apart when one of them only says the other one's name, like a Pokemon, like a reverse Pokemon, right? So that one is underground, next to a coffin that takes you to the Nameless City. So Devin, or whatever his name is, the tired one, the sleepy twin, is the original wrongdoer, right? So she isn't just killing Darian, she is giving him his dagger back, which then leads to his own death. He says, oh, I know who that belongs to, because it's his, right? But it's also his brother's. So he can't be like, well, it's mine, but it's my brother's and stuff. He takes it, and he's like, yeah, that's mine. I know who it belongs to, right? So it's like, how would you, wait, that doesn't make sense. How would it be yours, but you know who it belongs to, right? It's like, well, you could be like, well, it belongs to me. I know who it belongs to. It belongs to me is like a joke, but that's not the inflection and way he says it. He's essentially saying it belongs to someone else, but it belongs to me in his tone. So he's saying, oh, it was my brother actually who did that. And then that's why he's leaving Round Table Hold when we find him dead. He's going to go find his brother, right? Who's asleep, like Roger. So, but because I think they share a body, when Darian dies, his soul goes to the other body, right? And that's why the whole, like, honeyed rays of gold deliver his spirit. Someone analyzed that on the, in the wiki. A lot of people love D, right? The Hunter D, but he's supposed to be, like, blind vengeance, right? Like, you're getting vengeance, but like against what, right? You're doing nothing. She already achieved her goal peacefully, and the thing is, she's wrong too. Again, they both were lied to by the Golden Order. She was insulted, and like what she worshipped was hidden away, the deathbed companion. So the Baldekin's blessing is like a hidden church in disguise of a bedroom, right? Because they need to be hidden away, the deathbed companions, because no one should die, right? Death is bad. Death should be ridiculed. America's not good. But anyway, so D is killing his ancestors, but it's like there is no right answer here, right? Because of America's lie. D is killing undead monsters though, right? But when you meet his brother, or when you meet him the first time, he says that they should just be left alone. Like, he doesn't say, I'm gonna go mindlessly fucking kill them and go on an onslaught and just on a crusade like a zealot, right? Like, I say that there are religious zealots or whatever. You gotta listen to what the people tell you. He just says leave them alone. He's not a zealot. He's not like, oh, I gotta kill them all. He's like, I'm good. I was recruited by Garank to weed out Deathroot, so I do it, right? But now it makes sense why he's doing it. It's to avenge his sleeping brother, probably, right? Who's just stuck in a coma. So he's like, all right. I think his soul is in the armor, right? Like how the soul is in the hammer, or it's like a big old loop. But souls are runes. Period. That they have you saying runes and souls interchangeably in the game series. So it is a soul, right? Souls or runes. What does that mean? Well, it means if your armor is made of souls, or a soul, or two souls, right? Then you could be a shared spirit. Because again, it's like, well, that is literally happening. If there are two souls that comprise an armor, they could easily just share, right? In existence while never sharing like a room together, right? You can't wear the suit of armor with someone else. It's like one person's wearing the armor, so you could split the pieces up, but I don't think that's how it works, right? If your soul is the armor united, that would be very interesting. Imagine you get half of D's armor and give part of it to Darius or Darian or Delvin. Devin? I don't fucking remember. There's so many goddamn names in this. The Underground Twin. What if you keep the armor from New Game Plus and you give it to the other guy? I think because the armor is two bodies. That's what I'm getting at. If you, oh damn it. If you look at the armor, one of them is like the center golden body, and then there's another trapped second silver body within it. Let's see if I have the armor. I don't think I gave it to him. Damn it. We actually don't have it on this guy. I have it on my other guy, but I think one of the only ways to do it is go give the dude the armor underground. It's crazy that we got all this map and everything as a level 1. I will say it. That's the challenge that they want you to do at the end of the fucking game. That's like the secret level 7 playthrough difficulty. And I was like, oh, I'll do that for fun on stream. Wait a minute. I'm sensing something here. Or I'm seeing something. And what, you gotta talk to all of the finger readers too? Do you have to talk to like everybody and get every item? Is that the absolute? But you gotta do it in the right order maybe? Because there are multiple orders, so it's not just about beating the game and getting everyone to the end and letting them live. Like there are actually quests that have multiple paths. So you have to do everyone's path correctly, is the way to put it. No wonder no one's fucking found this goddamn ending. No wonder people don't even believe it exists. My god. You died. You guys, we were so close. I think I'm just not good enough. But in a confident way. I'm confidently wrong. I don't think I can beat this guy right now. Even though we got him down to a micro fracture of a bit of HP. It defeated my spirit. I just want to move on and accept that fucking non-kill as a defeat, but I can't. Can't do it. There's an old part of me I can't let die yet. It wants to see this boss dead. It really, oh my god. The fact, I said I can't even get help if I wanted to is literally what it feels like. I wish someone would help me decipher what the fuck I'm talking about. But every time I look at the wiki, people are so goddamn wrong about characters. I'm like, you didn't even listen to what the character said. You don't even have to read items. They fucking tell you the story. People are like, everything's so obscured. I'm like, you're not even listening to the NPCs. They're just telling you, hey, I'm doing this because I'm fucking twisted in the head. It's like, just listen to them. They'll tell you the right path. All right. Whew. That's like the combination I did not know how to dodge days ago. It's the same as the Erdtree Guardians. When they shoot a beam at you with multiple projectiles, the last one, they will sync up their attack so that you dodge at the same time, both attacks. It is scary. Okay, camera. Well, I know where he's gonna show up. It's not much of a fucking choice, is there? There's a wall right here, so he's probably gonna show up right about here. He shows up like a mile away from the ring on the opposite end of where he cast it. Right? So if he goes up right here, he's gonna show up behind me by the end of it, right? That's the funny part, is there was nowhere else to go. So I was like, well, he's gonna wind up right here. That's it. There's literally nowhere for him to go now. Awkward. Ooh. Oh fuck. No. Oh, holy shit. Sorry, Torrent. I don't know what part of the combo just made my nose itch, but let's hope we avoid that part next time. Remember what I said, the physic makes it so that shit heals you, so now you just gotta be careful. Right? Just don't be near it during the last explosion. Cause you don't want to just assume that it's gonna fucking heal you the whole time. You die right at the end. That would suck. No, 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 no! Oh, I died. Holy what the fuck just saved me there? What just saved me there? I had like one health. Dude, that shit just killed me at level 200. Even a new game, like just one. Woo! See, so he's this way. I'm turning around. He's gonna show up right about this direction. Yep. Yes, dude! Holy fuck! My hands are shaking. Oh my god! What? Dude, I'm gonna cry right now. Because I know that's not the end. We gotta put our garb on for this. Come on, guys. You know, we were this the whole fucking time. Oh. We fucking did it. I've done it all. Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and now Elden Ring, all beaten without leveling. And no glitches. And no skips. That is where his story concludes. He has Miquella's needle, he can cleanse himself. In Placidus Axe's arena, I've beaten every other boss. But you see, a different story must be told. For it was in that playthrough I had a realization that if I made another character and left secrets like these messages about, right? You don't have the right ahead, therefore seek order. This is 6 out of 7. I should have said on that first level 1 playthrough, we have everyone alive still. Blyde, Iggy, Celavis is dead. We did Ronnie's quest. We have every single ending as an option. Hyetta was brought all the way to the Frenzied Flame. She gave us truth, but she's still alive. Everything is perfect. We did everything in the perfect order on that character. But I realized that they didn't do all the prerequisites that I would have had to do to get the true ending. I would have had to beat the game in every possible way, with 6th being gold masks and the 7th new game plus. Has to be where we get the true ending.
Across the fog, the lands between.
This is not the secret ending.
Seed will look back upon us.
This is just the beginning.
The age of order.
And I please implore you, help me find it.